Welcome to the Wyoming State Library's Database of the Month series. In this webinar, we will explore National Geographic Virtual Library. Here you'll find the complete archive of the National Geographic magazine, every page of every issue, plus a cross-searchable collection of National Geographic books, maps, images, and video. From the GoWild.net page, I'm just going to access it alphabetically. The National Geographic Virtual Library includes National Geographic Traveler and National Geographic Kids, and more about kids in a bit. Let's begin here at the top with a search just to take a look at the sorts of results that we'll get. I'm beginning with a search on Jane Goodall. On the left-hand side, you'll see our results, content types, feature articles, books, brief articles, magazine covers, and advertisements. As we scroll down, you'll see where those results are coming from: National Geographic Magazine, National Geographic Books, and National Geographic Traveler. And there's also a subject listing that you can limit by. Notice there's a View More link. To the right of each one of those subjects, you'll see the number of results. Below the subjects, you'll find the publication years that, again, you can limit by. Within this histogram, I can click on each decade, and as I get on each decade and hover over it, you'll see how many documents for each one of those decades. Down the middle are our results lists, beginning with feature articles, then followed by the books and magazine covers, etc. Notice to the right of each one of the content type headers, there's a View All. So under articles here, they brought out 5 articles, but to see all of them, just click the View All. I'm going to scroll down through some of these feature articles. You can see we've got dates of May 2013 down here to August 1963. And like I mentioned, this is the whole magazine, every page. At the top left, I can page through the article. I can increase the image size. I can also, on the far right here, take it to full screen mode. I can go back to my search results here in the top right, which allows me to look at another one of the feature articles. When you have an article that's a broad topic, notice that my search shows up here on the right-hand side under relevant pages. So within the year of exploration, I can find where my Jane Goodall search is by clicking on that relevant page. You'll see that it's highlighted, and let me increase my size here. You'll see that my search terms are highlighted within the article. And again, I'm going back to my search results. And on the left-hand side, I'm going to select books now. So here are my different books. Now this one does not have my relevant pages listed with my search, so I'm going to go search within. And that brings me to my relevant pages. And you'll see the search terms highlighted there in the brief article. Also at the top, right under our main search box, is a link to an advanced search. Going into the advanced search, you'll notice that I have a search box, but I also have a feature to add a row. Then it adds my Boolean operators and or and not. Below that, I have limiters. I can limit by publication title, content type, or image type. I'm going to do a search for Iceland, but I only want those items that were on the magazine cover. So here's my topics. I can see some of our new covers, some of the older covers, and a broad variety of dates. Notice one of these is March 1898. When I select one, you'll notice that it's highlighted now on the cover. So I was looking for items that were featured on the cover of National Geographic magazine. It does have a relevant page, but that's just going to be in the index here. So notice in the top left corner there's an icon. If I hover over it, it indicates that's the table of contents. Within my table of contents, I can find a walking tour across Iceland, and there's the full article. To scroll through, I just use the arrows here at the top. If you come across pictures that are sideways, notice here in your navigation features, I have a rotate that I can swing those pictures around. And again, I can go back to my search results. And notice these are out of National Geographic magazine as well as National Geographic Traveler. Under our search box, we have some features here. We can go to the home page. The next one I want to show is here called Browse Magazines. Browse Magazines will bring up the covers of both National Geographic and National Geographic Traveler. To select one, I'll just click on the cover. And again, when I selected an entire issue, on the top left is my table of contents. To look at one of the articles, I just click on the article and it takes me within that issue. Again, in the middle, I can increase the size. And on the far left or far right, I can click on full screen. Notice in full screen I no longer have my table of contents, nor can I insert a page number. All I can do is go forward and back and increase my size. To use some of that other navigation, I just go back to the regular size, and then now I have my table of contents. I can insert a page number. As well as use some of my other features here at the top, including a print button. The next one over is called Explore Topics. These are broad subject categories that contain a select sampling of images, books, magazine articles, videos, and maps. I'm going to start here with travel. Within my Explore Topics, you'll see that I have feature images, feature articles, books, videos, and maps. And again, we've got the View All to the right of the content type header. I'm going to scroll down to Video and View All. So here's all these incredible pieces of video to add to an understanding of a specific topic here under Travel. And you'll see that it's quite a variety. Notice at the bottom there are several pages of my images.
Prague has been a center of art and home to great composers. Dvorak, Chopin, and Tchaikovsky performed their best works here. Inspired by this musical heritage is Alexander Zoltan, who plays a less traditional instrument, the glass harp.
I can just use my back button to go back to my list of results, or I can go back to Explore Topics and look at something else. So this time let's look at science and technology. And this one, let's look at books. Again, I have my View All, but let's just grab this first one, Science of Everything, How Things Work. When you pull up one of the National Geographic books, this will be the full content, cover to cover. What you'll have to use on this, because we don't have a drop-down table of contents, is you'll have to view the table of contents and locate a page number. And because these are going to be paginated from starting from the cover, these will be off a little bit. So this one says it's on page, let's raise that up a little, 18. So if we go up here into our box, I can add page 18, but we're going to be behind our topic here a little bit, so you may have to just scroll forward to get you to your topic. The next item over, or tab here, is image search. One of the great things about this is I don't need to put a search into my search box. I can just click on one of these image types. So I'm going to select aerial photograph and click search. And now I have 29 featured images of aerial photographs. And I think this one's spectacular. This is marigold harvesting. And there's the people picking the marigolds, so it's going from the gold to the green. You can download a PDF of an image and use those for educational purposes. The next thing I want to point out is here at the very top, called Topic Guides. Here are their LibGuides for the National Geographic Virtual Library, or Topic Guides. They have a link for librarians, which gives you some of the widgets and a little more information. There is information here on the Common Core, which gives you some lesson plans using the National Geographic readers and books. There's also some grade-defined Common Core elements, National Geography standards and skills, things like that. So take a look at that if you're working with kids either in the classroom or in the library. Something that might be of help when you're using informational text. I'm going to go back to the Home tab. Also on these topic guides, you'll see that they have general audience guides here on the right and kids guides in the middle. Under the kids guides, we can open one of these up, and it's going to give you a list of books under that topic. It won't link straight into them, so all you'll need to do is cut and paste, and we'll do that here in a second. In the adults, we have quite a variety. We've got African American History Month reference, but then they've also got one for the Cosmos, the TV series, and the World of Downton Abbey. So take a look at some of those fun ones that might help you encourage your patrons to get into this particular resource, National Geographic Virtual Library. I'm going to select Birds and Birding here. And again, it gives us a list of their books, National Geographic books. To view that in full text, I'm just going to cut and paste that title and then go back into National Geographic and paste that title in. And now here's our title, Backyard Guide to the Birds of North America, that was listed in that topic guide. And there's our bird guide, cover to cover. The other thing at the very top of the page at the far right is a help button. This will give you information on basic searching, tools to use, citation sources. So here we've got browsing the magazines, changing the language, citation generator. You'll also see some more citation information, your search results pages, what you're going to see on your search result pages. So take a look at the topic guides as well as the help. In addition to those two helpful bits, at the very bottom is about National Geographic Virtual Library. Here you'll find information about National Geographic Magazine Archive, People, Animals in the World, and National Geographic Kids. There's also a link here to National Geographic and the Common Core. So check out that at the bottom of the screen. So now let's go across to the last one here at the top, and that's for kids. This will link you to National Geographic Kids. This is a great resource for informational text. National Geographic Kids is geared towards 6 to 14-year-olds. It's from 2009 to the present with a 3-month embargo, and you'll see that when we browse the magazines. There are 200 National Geographic books on environment, places, history, cultures, science and technology, as well as a collection of 500 images. You'll see our Browse Magazine tab here and Explore Topics. Search box there at the top, and as we scroll down, it links to some featured pictures, and notice the More button here on the right. And then there's our books and our magazines, each one with a More button. So let's start with our pictures. I'm going to click on More. I can scroll through. Notice there are many pages of images. I'm going to select one of these images and to check out a few other tools. Here on the right hand side you'll see citation and tools. I'm going to open that up, and there it gives me my citation information. I also have a document URL that I can paste into another document and come straight back to this image. It also gives me some related subjects if I wanted to continue on my search. And notice it does say this picture may be used for personal non-commercial use. Scrolling down to look at the books, again I can click on More. And let's just look at the variety you're going to find here in National Geographic Kids books. Everything from Jimmy the Joey, volcanoes, How to Speak Dog, Mysteries in Our National Park series, Cultures of the World, the National Geographic Investigate series, and then some holiday. So here we've got Halloween, which is coming up, of course. And I can change pages here, clicking at the bottom, or the number at the top or the bottom. Now I can just page through all of these, or notice on the left hand side I have a search within. And since we're watching the PBS series by Ken Burns on Roosevelt's, let's search Roosevelt's in our National Geographic Kids books. We have 21 results. Here's our titles. We can just click on a specific title and go in to that full book. Now one of these listed here you'll see is Amelia Earhart for our search with Roosevelt. If you want to discover why this book came up when we search Roosevelt, again I can bring up the Amelia Earhart book and I can search within this specific book. And again I'll type Roosevelt, and it will bring me to the relevant pages for where Roosevelt appears in this National Geographic book on Amelia Earhart. And my terms are highlighted. So that was just scrolling the main page here, pictures, books, and magazines. But let's go back up to the search box here. So I'm going to search Science Fair winners. They have 2 books here on Science Fair winners called Science Fair Winners Junkyard Science and Science Fair Winners Experiments to Do on Your Family. This book will include specific experiments and includes, here's the little experiments, and it includes present it. So information on how to do their science fair project in addition to some specific projects for them to do. So that was a book title. Going back up to my search box, and I'm going to search lemur. Like we saw in the regular National Geographic, on the left we have our content types, pictures, kids magazine, and books. I can search within my results, which we've done. It tells me where my search appears in National Geographic Kids, the book collection, and feature images, as well as my subjects. Notice that it scrolls down through pictures, kids magazines. There's my view all. And it includes in the books, in addition to some we've scrolled through, there are some atlases here within National Geographic books for these kids. I'm going to go back up to the top and select Browse Magazines. Just like we saw with National Geographic and National Geographic Traveler, here we've got the magazine covers for National Geographic Kids. You'll see that the most current is May 2014. Again, don't forget about that 3-month embargo. On the left, you can filter by date or just scroll through the covers. Since we're coming up on fall and Halloween, I'm going to select October 2012. When you go into the issue again, on the left, you'll find the icon for Table of Contents, which lets you go into specific articles. And I can put that into a full page and scroll through the pages. When I come back here, remember that you can put in a specific page number in this box and rotate images here in the middle. I can also search within this issue on the right hand side, so I'm going to type in slimy since it is a Halloween issue. So it gives me many places that I can look for items both by browsing issues, doing a search here at the top, or searching within an issue. The next one we'll look at here on the National Geographic Kids is Explore Topics. Just like we saw in National Geographic, we've got our 6 topics. I'm going to go into history here. And again, we've got pictures, kids magazines, and books. I'm going to go down to books and click on The Trailblazing Life of Daniel Boone. I just think it's fascinating the depth and breadth that this collection holds. Just a look at another topic, science and technology, and images this time. A solar eclipse progression here in this picture. So a lot of ways to browse through and get to topics. National Geographic Kids also has an advanced search button as well. Here you can put in search terms, add a row to your search. And here's our content, publication, and picture type for searching. So I'm going to put in global warming as my search term. And then I'm going to come down here and I want to get articles that have graphs and diagrams in them and launch my search. My results are coming out of National Geographic Kids World Atlas and Atlas for Young Explorers. And on the right hand side, I see all my relevant pages for global warming within this atlas that contain diagrams and graphs. So I select a page, and I'm going to make it full screen here at the top right. So here's my article that includes the terms global warming in my text, as well as diagrams or graphs. So I hope you enjoy exploring this incredible resource, National Geographic. The National Geographic Virtual Library, as you can see, contains a wealth of information on a broad range of subjects covering a long period of the history of our world. To find more information about our databases, be sure and check out the Wyoming State Library homepage and the Wild Databases blog. Here you'll find information about what's going on with our other databases, as well as some topical information, new content being added. And also on that page you'll find the webinar archive, where this and all of our Database of the Month webinars are archived. Thanks for joining in today. If you have any suggestions, please don't hesitate to contact us here at the Wyoming State Library. Thanks for joining in, everybody. Have a great day.